Shalom. First off, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahawah Hakudash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who have taught us His word and teach us His word today. And I want to give a salutation unto the elect of the nation of Israel. This is the brother Yatazakbar with the GMS Nebraska camp. This is GMS Endeavor. And in this lesson, what I want to go into is our role in this ministry, the important work that we have been put in trust of. As I'm reading in the book of Matthew, what is very apparent is how serious the flock is to Yahweh Shai, how serious his followers, the elect, the sheep, his little ones, they're very, very important to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And that's made apparent here in Matthew chapter 18, verse 6, which says, "But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea." So when Yahweh Shai says this, this isn't just a figure of speech. This is him saying, anybody who causes my little ones to go off or to sin or to be led astray, a grave judgment shall come upon them. They should be put to death. And when it comes to this ministry, we have been basically put in charge to feed the sheep, to lead them to the correct path. It's all by the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. We're not doing any of this of our own accord or our own power, of course, but we are the vessels at which it's being done. And so we are the conduits that are, guiding the people. And we have to make sure that we're doing it properly, because like I said, the sheep are important to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. When we go down to Matthew 18 and verse 11, it says, "For the Son of Man is come to save that which was lost. How think ye, if a man have 100 sheep, and one of them be gone astray, doth he not leave the 99 and goeth into the mountains, and seeketh that which is gone astray? And if so be that he find it, verily I say unto you, he rejoiceth more of that sheep than of the 99 which went not astray." And as Yahweh Shai said, he was sent unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So for those who don't have this truth, but they are predestined to be a follower of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, they're precious. They are important to the Lord. All of us, for those who are in this truth and those who haven't received this word yet but are destined to receive it, all of the elect is important, in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai's eyes. It should be important in our eyes as well, of course, because as we're in this faith, as we're in this truth, of course we are striving for salvation. Of course we are making diligence to make our calling and election sure. But this truth isn't just about seeking our reward. That's a part of it, of course. But it isn't just about us. This is about the whole of the matter. And when you look at the whole of the matter, we have to place a high value on making sure that the flock is good, that the sheep are being fed, that they are being led in the correct path. Because you have a lot of false leaders, false shepherds out here that are leading the sheep astray. And hey, we already read about, we just read Matthew 18 and 6. How Yahweh Shai feels about them. We want to make sure that we're not a part of that group. So when the scriptures say, for example, in 2 Timothy 2 and 15, "Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth." We're not just studying to show ourselves approved just so we can show the Lord, look, I'm studious. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a good thing. It's a good thing to be studious. It's a good thing to to know this word and be versed in it. But it's not just to boast about it or just show the Lord, look, I know all this. That's not what it's about. It's about knowing these things so that we can teach it unto the flock. It's about knowing these things so that we can rightly divide the word of truth, so that those who need teachers so that those who need leaders can be led and taught. You know, it's about showing the Lord that we care about his sheep. You know, that's what it's about as well. And so let's grab First Timothy chapter. Actually, no, we won't grab that. We will grab. We will grab the First Timothy. Salakia. First Timothy chapter 1 verse 11, which says, according to the glorious gospel of the blessed power which was committed to my trust. Which, like, let me see. We'll start from right there. It says, according to the glorious gospel, the blessed power which was committed to my trust. And I thank Yahushua HaMashiach our Lord, who hath enabled me, for that he counted me faithful, putting me into the ministry. And so we see, you know, what it's saying. This is something that was put in our trust. This is we were enabled and put in this position to further the ministry, to be a part of this body, to feed the flock. And so with that, knowing that, we have to make sure that we're wired tight. We have to make sure that we are furthering this body and not being a cancer to it. You know, making sure that with this trust that we have been given by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, we're not breaking that trust, or we're not being put in charge of this ministry and just doing whatever with it. You know, seeking our own, basically serving our own belly with this word. And we see examples of that. We see examples of people receiving this word and receiving the wisdom and knowledge of these scriptures, and then going out and trying to make money with it. That's not what we're supposed to be doing. That's the opposite of what we're supposed to be doing with this word. As the scriptures say, freely we have received, freely we give. Because this word is living waters. This is what is going to heal the elect of our people. This is what is going to lead the elect of our people unto the kingdom. But you have people who are taking this and losing the whole point of what this ministry is about, what this truth is about, and trying to make money, or trying to receive glory from men, or basically serving themselves. And that's why I made mention earlier, yes, we're looking for our reward at the end of all this, but we have to make sure that with this truth that we have is not just about what we get out of it. Because it's more than just about what we get out of it. It's about what our nation gets out of it. It's about what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai gets out of it. And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is going to get theirs. You know, so let's not get that twisted. But we want to make sure that we are on the side of furthering that, and not putting a hindrance to it, or not, you know, trying to insert ourselves into the Most High's will and looking for our will to be done. You know, so let's grab 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 2, which says, feed the flock of the Most High which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. So we're taking oversight of the flock. We're shepherds, and a shepherd has a true care for those sheep. A shepherd can pick those sheep out and know which one is which, know the personality type of those different sheep, know how the sheep act, how to approach different sheep, and how to deal with each one. Why? Because it's a true care that a shepherd has for what he's doing. You know, and so that's why it's saying that we're not supposed to do this by constraint, because if you're doing it by constraint, you don't really care. You're just doing it to do it. It's supposed to be a willing thing. It's supposed to be something that we're truly giving ourselves to. We're thinking about it when we wake up. We're thinking about it before we go to sleep, because this is supposed to be our life. And it's saying don't do it for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. And when we read that in the NLT, what is that? What is it saying, the filthy lucre part? Not for what you will get out of it, but because you are eager to serve the Most High. And Yahweh, the eyes of the Most High Yahweh are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. He sees why we do the things that we do, not just what we do, because men can see what we do, but Yahweh Shai sees, or Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai sees what we do behind closed doors, and why we do everything that we do. So while we're on the highways teaching and doing these videos, the Most High sees what our intentions are. what we're thinking when we do it, and so we have to make sure that we're doing it for the right purpose, that we have the right attitude, that we have the righteous intentions, and so let's read on. It says, neither as being lords over the Most High's heritage, but being examples to the flock. And so you have people that are trying to be lords over the Most High's heritage. They're trying to be a chief priest. They're trying to hold some type of authority. Whoever is supposed to be in a position of authority is going to be there because Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai put them there, not because they gunned for a position. None of us in this body should be trying to seek preeminence. The scriptures say don't seek preeminence. In the book of Sirach, I believe chapter 7 verse 4, it's not about what title we can achieve or what position we can try to get promoted to. Wherever we're supposed to be in this body to further the Most High's will, that's where we're going to be. And when we get into that position, we have to improve ourselves and make sure that we make sure that we are up to par with this word, and make sure that we are up to par spiritually and character. Why? Because we're supposed to be examples to the flock. And so as we are feeding the sheep, as we're being leaders and examples, we're doing this so that as people are coming into the truth, or for the little ones that look up to us who have been in the truth longer, or not just in the truth longer, but are those examples they can follow, and now they're serving Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai in righteousness. So I'm gonna grab one more precept, and that'll be the lesson. Titus chapter 2 verse 7, where it says, in all things showing thyself a pattern of good works. And the scriptures tell us, these scriptures are, it instructs us in how to walk in good works. It tells us about the fruits of the Spirit. It tells us to put others before ourselves. These scriptures from beginning to end show us how to walk. That's why the scriptures say, blessed is the man that readeth. But it says, in doctrine showing uncorruptness, gravity, sincerity, sound speech that cannot be condemned. And that's why this doctrine is important. That's why we constantly get on all these other camps. Even brothers who in GMS, if they were to start preaching an incorrect doctrine, they got on. But focus on these other camps, because they do it and they'll get reproved and they'll still do it. And they aren't looking at the important part of this truth that we're in, that we're not supposed to be pushing incorrect doctrine. You're offending the little ones. The doctrine mattered. There is a 100% truth. There is one song that we're supposed to be singing, and if you change any lyric to the song, if you change any chord progression, any part of the song, it's a different song now. No, the song has to be sung right. The song has to be played right. And if it's not being played right, you gotta put your instrument down. But Salaki, reading on, it says, sound speech that cannot be condemned, that he that is of the contrary part may be ashamed, having no evil thing to say of you. And so this scripture is telling us that not only as we're teaching, but also in our lives, it should reflect the doctrine that we preach. It should reflect that we are trying to be examples to the flock, to the brothers around us, to the younger brothers who look up to us. The way that we walk, the things that we talk about, the ideas we express, we're supposed to carry ourselves in a proper manner. And we are in this flesh, we're imperfect. Of course, we're not going to be all the way on point 100% of the time, but it's just about having a sincere care for the sheep and making sure that we're not leading them astray, making sure that we're not being a bad example, showing them, wicked works, as we are seeing different people in Israel do right now, as we're seeing people who are looking to defend themselves and just being selfish. Really, selfish behavior, it has no place in this ministry. It has no place in being what we have been entrusted to do. So that's all I want to grab with this lesson. Lord's will was edifying. Just uh, saying some things that the Spirit put on my mind to express. What we're in is very important. This is something very important to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. This is a position that isn't to be taken lightly or to be taken to just do whatever we want with it. There's different things in our lives that don't have any impact on the ministry. We want to carry ourselves a certain way with that, whatever, as long as we aren't being wicked. But when it comes to his ministry, there is a certain way we have to be. And we can't twist or bend that because this ain't our thing. This is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai's thing, and we can't mishandle that. So hey, that's all I want to grab with this lesson. Once again, giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai B'Habar Chakadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles, the elders of GMS, and a salutation unto the elect. Shalom.